I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to this one because this is going to be really important. I think a lot of wholesalers watching this right now, they have a lot of questions. They're maybe a little worried. They're maybe a little scared of what's going on. The market might turn a little red. They don't know what's going to go on. They don't know what's going on in wholesaling real estate. So what I want to do in this video is really share exactly my top 10 recession-proof wholesaling hacks, lessons, just in a book format, pretty much what it is. And what I want to break down now is kind of my hacks and lessons I want to bestow onto you of that has been working really well for me, what I've seen working on right now, and how you can make a ton of money, guys. And guys, we're still doing $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 deals. Now, there's less of them. I'm doing more $20,000 deals, but remember, guys, it's because I'm doing more deals, it's netting me more money. And that's the point. I was never able to do the amount of deals I'm doing right now than I did the past 2 years, because there's less wholesalers right now, in my opinion, in my market. And the coolest part about that, on top of that, is actually, no, there's not less wholesalers. There's actually more wholesalers right now in my current market, but there's less wholesalers overpaying, I would say. And on top of that, there's just more motivated sellers. And because when real estate's going weird, there's more motivated sellers, more deals, and I get a better portion of it. So if I get 75% of all the deals in my market and the amount of deals go up, I make more money. And you guys can go on it too. You're just gonna have to do more deals, but you'll still make more. Shout out to Camille, 39 grand today. Awesome. Love to see it. So let me break down my hacks, my lessons. This is Zach's book, a video book. I'll call it a video book. This is Zach's video book for success. So let's break it down. Don't want to rant anymore, but let's get it going. So lesson number 1, wholesaling deals flow to the one that makes the best offers at scale. And I want everybody who's looking to scale or make a ton of money in wholesaling, I want you to understand this life lesson. And this is a huge life lesson for everybody watching. Whoever can give more offers at scale will make more money overall. This is how you get a ton of deals in wholesaling, right? It's all about making offers. If you're not making offers, you're not getting contracts, you're not selling those contracts, okay? And I love the person who says, oh, I market more than anyone. I don't care you market more. Are you giving more offers to sellers? In person, those offers, that's the best, right? And so the person that gets the most deals are usually the one that gives the most offers at a big scale. So if I have 2 or 3 people going in appointments right now as we speak, I'm giving offers at scale that most people can't do, virtual wholesaling, things like that. And when you do a lot of virtual wholesaling deals in all the markets around the United States, guess what? It's flowing to me because I'm giving the most offers at scale. It's very important. Lesson number 2, this is a very important for everybody, but your sellers, and I want everyone to understand this, your sellers don't care how much money you spent in marketing. And I want everybody to really understand this. I want to make this very clear to everybody. Your seller does not care how much you spent in marketing this year. They don't care. They don't care how much you spent on your postcard. They don't care how much you spent on your VA. They don't care. And so I think a lot of wholesalers out here, they see someone in competition and they think, oh my gosh, they spend all this money in marketing. I have no shot. When you're behind that seller, nobody cares. This is the same thing as fighting. And I love fighting. You know, when you go to like boxing or MMA, you see it doesn't matter that the other guy spent 100 grand on boxing trainers. No, it doesn't matter. It matters how much pack a punch that person can do and how much they can fight. It's not about how much money they spent on training and all this fancy schmancy stuff, right? And I think a lot of gurus do that. You know, they'll spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on the latest studio and but they're so fake and stupid and broke. It drives me crazy. They spend all their money on the studio, not in the wholesaling business. But I can tell you, your seller doesn't care. They care about if you can help them out, make them some money, and help them out. That is it. They don't care how much money you spend on the list or all. It doesn't matter. If you can get in front of the seller, that is all that matters. And so a lot of people think, oh, because I spent a bunch of money, I deserve more deals. No, it's all about making offers at scale. It's all about making those offers, getting in front of, like, that's what actually matters. A lot of people think what matters how much money you're spending. It's not how much money you're spending that matters. It's going out here and helping sellers out that matter. So the amount of money you spend honestly doesn't matter at all. Okay. Here's the next really important lesson, the next chapter in the book. You know, you are only judged on the deals you make, not the ones that go bad or the ones you don't do. I want everybody to understand this. I've had a lot of failures in wholesaling real estate the past 6 years. I've had a lot more successes than failures. Here's the thing. You only see my failures in wholesaling when I decide to tell you them. You've never seen other failures I've done in wholesaling. You know why? Because you ain't going to know about it. It ain't no dang business, right? But like, what I mean by that, like, I've had plenty of leads where I go on the appointment and I just didn't get the deal. I didn't close them. It happens, right? Do you guys know about that? No, you don't know exactly. Like, you haven't seen that. Like, it's in my head, but nobody can judge me for not getting the deal unless you tell them. So here's the thing. Nobody around you is going to know if you didn't get the deal or not. So stop worrying about forcing yourself to get a deal or not. It's like basketball, you know? I love basketball. And the thing about basketball, when you're doing a basketball game, everybody, it's all recorded. There's tens of thousands, hundreds, probably millions, if you look at the internet, watching you miss that shot, right? Everyone will see you miss that basketball shot. So you're judged on the shots you missed. The coolest part about wholesaling is you shoot the shot, and if it doesn't go in, nobody sees it. But if it does go in, everybody sees it. That's pretty dang cool. It's like hitting the pause and rewind button on a video game where you can just, you make a mistake and kind of go back in time, right? And so when I'm looking at this, it's like a time machine. And it's just like no one sees you fail at all. They only see you actually do the deal. They only see you with the check. And so when I fail at something or whatever, like you ain't going to see it. It's on public record, but you only see the things that do well. That's pretty dang cool. And I want everyone to understand. So stop getting all caught up and going out here and feeling, oh, I'm doing a cold call and I'm going to fail. And nobody's going to know that you failed on a cold call. Now, if I fail on a cold call, it's going to be live recorded. I ain't taking that out. Gurus will edit it out for the cold calls or whatever. But like if the person says no to me when I offer them over the live call, obviously you're going to see it because it's recorded. It's live. But like with my cold callers, like if they fail, I'm not going to judge them. But like you guys aren't going to see them fail. You'll see them if they do well. Maybe I'll do a video on that. But like you're not going to see the failures. You're only going to see the successes. So stop judging yourself over potentially failing because the only person that's going to see that's you. Now, I'll tell you this. You, by failing though, the only side effect I would say is you might wake up one day and be like, why in the dang world did I do that? And you're just going to cringe. Like, have you ever just like, I don't know, sat at bed at night sometimes, or like, you know, you're just sitting in a car or you're waiting for something and you think of something really embarrassing you did when you were like 12 years old in front of everyone in 6th grade and you're like cringing at, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And you just, you go back into that moment and you're like, that might happen. And that happens a lot for me in the beginning, but I'll tell you, like I've had plenty of those moments in middle school, right? Even high school. So it's like, yeah, but like that's when everyone saw it. But like, just you're gonna think about it. Don't get too worried over it. Next thing, and I want people to understand this, especially when real estate goes weird. The harder it is to pull a list, the better that list is for wholesaling. There's less saturation, and this is a very easy law. I'm like Sir Isaac Newton with wholesaling rules, I guess. But like, the harder it is to get a list, there's less likely other wholesalers are going to pull that list. So for example, you're pulling a code violation list in your city. If they say, no, we're not going to give you the list, most wholesalers are going to say, oh, they said no, I'm just giving up. But the guy or gal that goes out here and says, no, I'm going to keep asking for it till I get it, and then they get that list, there's like a firewall. Most wholesalers can't break through. But if you break through, now no one else can get that list. Now there's like 2 or 3 wholesalers that get that list out of 300 that are trying, and they all give up. Now you have exclusive access to that. That's why the list is going to be better. And this is why government lists on average are better to get, because it's a lot harder to pull it versus going on PropStream and just click, pulling a list like that, right? They just, statistically, the harder it is to pull a list, the better the list is. Next part here is, what is the perfect equation for wholesaling results? And it's not that complicated, but how do you get good results in wholesaling? It all comes down to the marketing you do multiplied by the offers you make minus the cash spent. That will result in how good you are in wholesaling real estate. If you can make a ton of offers and have really good marketing, you'll be fine. Now, I would say offers minus cash spent, but your marketing is going to have a key play in that. About time is marketing and offers. But for you to become successful in wholesaling and for you to actually go out here and really break down everything you need to know about how to actually get good results in wholesaling. And I'm trying to think of the best way to approach this, but like, it's really simple. It's just how much marketing you're doing that will lead you to giving offers, and you giving great offers at a large scale will do well. Now, if you're spending 50 grand a month in wholesaling, like marketing, that ain't gonna be good. So that's why I minused off cash spent, but that's how you gotta look at it. So if you're like, Zach, I'm not getting great results at all. Oh, I'm not getting good results. My wholesaling sucks. I'm terrible at this. All right. Is your marketing bad? Are you not getting a lot of volume in your marketing? So let's look at the marketing part. And how many offers are you giving? Multiply that, your quality of marketing and the amount of marketing, and then the offers you're making. And if you're spending too much money, then that's going to make you negative wholesaling results, right? And so that's the equation you really have to put out here too. And I even use that equation in my own wholesaling real estate business, because my volume increases and that's giving me more deals. This is a really important one. And this is a very profound lesson. And this is a lesson I can tell you that took me a very, very, very long time to learn. And I want everybody to really, there's one thing you learn from these lessons. I think this is probably one of the most important parts, but you need to treat your cash buyers like your sellers. Your wholesalers don't do this. And it gets me really sad, but treat your cash buyers like sellers. If you do not treat your cash buyers like sellers, you will fail. Why do people treat sellers differently than cash buyers? I don't get it. When you're dealing with the seller, what do you do with the seller? You follow up with them. You care about their needs. You care about why they're doing what they're doing and how you can help them out with that goal. And you talk to them a lot. With cash buyers, you treat them like trash. Here's the deal, buy it. Yes or no? Like, it's transactional at that point. You're not transactional with the seller. If you're successful in wholesaling, you are not transactional with the seller. Treat your cash buyers like sellers. How are you doing, Mr. Cash Buyer? What are your goals? How many properties are you looking to buy? How can I help you out with that? What areas? Follow up every month. Build that relationship, that rapport. People don't do this. And this is separating people that are getting cash buyers wanting to buy their deals and not buy their deals. Hey, I like this Zach guy. You know what? I'm going to go buy his deal. Maybe it's not something I would usually buy, but he's a great dude. He's a great dude. And I want him to send me more deals, build that relationship. Guys, I get these crazy big deals because cash buyers will overpay, but they like how I do business and they know they can trust me. And that's a very hard thing for a lot of wholesalers to have. But if you start treating your cash buyers like sellers, it will happen. Now, this is another one. This is a very controversial statement, but it's true. Never trust anybody. And this is even for me. Okay. You're literally right now listening to a 23-year-old kid teach you exactly how to make money in a recession. So you should definitely be skeptical of what I'm saying. This 23-year-old kid's probably broke, living in his mama's basement, not knowing what he's doing. He trashed, he broke, all these things. You should probably assume that starting out. If you're the first time watching this YouTube channel, you should probably assume that. Now you think that of me. Let's verify it. Okay. First of all, let's go through all the vlogs for the past 4 years and see, does Zach's actually getting contracts? Does he have recordings with him closing sellers? Does he make a ton of money? Does he show he makes a ton of money? Does he have the most testimonials possible at freewholesaling.com? You look on the top there. Does he actually make people millionaires in wholesaling? Did he read all these books? Did his dad, who's pretty much taught him so much in wholesaling, most of what he knows, gone through recession to make a ton of money? Verified. And boom, you verified me knowing that I'm legit. I'm not a broke wholesaling real estate guru. Does he try to sell me a stupid course? No. What are his motives for teaching me this? Like, you go through all these, right? And this is just for real estate education first, but like, let's talk about cash buyers. I want you to understand, when I started out in wholesaling, and especially when I was doing cash buyers, there's always 18-year-old kids that are saying they're cash buyers. And I am the least judgmental person for anybody. I do not judge. But when it comes to business, like outside of business, there's no judgment at all from my heart. And even on the live stream, there's no judgment for anyone I talk to. But when it comes to business, I will judge you so hard not because I'm a judgmental person, but because I've learned to never trust anybody. So if you're 18 years old and you say, hey, brah, I'm your cash buyer, dude. Okay, you're a cash buyer. First of all, in my mind, I don't trust you at all. Even if it's a 60-year-old man who looks like a millionaire with his AP watch, I don't care. So what I'm gonna verify first. Hey, show me your bank account. Okay, this looks very photoshopped. Can I get a letter from your bank? And I'm gonna call that letter. And if your letter's wrong, it's actually bank fraud. Guess what happens? They never message me back. I get people that fake proof of funds letters and give me fake screenshots of bank accounts. And I get a letter stating that this person has this much in the bank account from like Chase Bank or Bank of America. And then I call the bank and I literally tell the person, if this is a fake proof of funds from like a big bank, this will be reported and you'll go to jail for bank fraud. Are you willing to do that for a fake proof of funds letter? They never message me back. It is illegal to send a fake letter from a big bank stating this much money. That is bank fraud. It's a crime to do that, right? Because you were defrauding somebody. And so I always never trust anybody. Now I get things all the time. Now I have always said this one story and I'll keep saying it because this guy blew my mind. This guy, Hunter Raish in Arizona, I think his Deal Hub, Property Hub AZ. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I think he was telling me he's making $400,000 a month in Phoenix. And honestly, I don't believe that. Like I've never heard of this guy. No one's ever talked about this dude. I didn't believe it. And this is not like a dig on, I just didn't believe it. And I said, just show me last month. This man pulled up on my email $500,000 in assignment fees in 1 month in Phoenix, showed me them. I was blown away. I verified it, talked title company. They're like, yep, this is legit. I was like, I stand corrected. I verified it. Now I trust this guy. That's how it works with me. So if you go on a podcast, you have to show me proof and I'll hop you back on. I had one guy, he said, Zach, I want to be your cash partner. You're one of your JV partners in the state. I think he said, I could get wrong. He said, I make, I think $75K a month or whatever. I said, perfect. Send me over your HUDs. I said, okay. But he said, you know what? That's private information. I can't tell you. I'm like, well, then we're not going to do any deals. But you can trust me. I'm in this mastermind. I could care less. And I go through this whole spat with the guy. But I'm like, unless you're going to show me actual HUDs, like, oh, but it's against privacy of that. I'm like, you're not a nurse. You're not a doctor. There's no HIPAA laws. Okay. It's public information who owns property. I won't trust anybody to work with me in a business unless I actually verify it for real. It's the truth, right? And so I think a lot of people need to start doing this. Don't trust it. Okay. The seller calls you saying they are this person. I want you to just make sure that they go with the property appraiser, make sure that John Carlos Smith over the phone is the owner, because sometimes it's different, right? I had recorded a vlog yesterday of I made about an hour of calls on deals we did. We did 3 JV deals yesterday. Shout out to everyone that's sending us deals at sellmypaper.com. But we had 3 JV deals. I underwrote 12 deals. I called the wholesalers. I talked to cash buyers, and I recorded it. It was actually at my home, at my house. That's what I do when I don't do live streams. I recorded it. We chopped it up. We edited it like a really cool vlog. We went over the assignments, deals, things like that. And one of the deals, which is live on the vlog, we actually had a seller who was lying about being a seller that signed a fraudulent contract, and that was crazy. But we have the vlog. So if anybody's interested on that vlog, let me know if we should drop it or not. Maybe I'll just delete it. Who knows? But it was pretty cool. 3 deals. Oh, we got 3 assignment of contracts ready to go from that day. But I was talking with my team, everyone on the sellmypaper.com team. I was talking to a couple of those guys and gals, and we were really doing it really cool there. Let me know if you guys want me to record. I don't want to get on a tangent of me JVing wholesalers, JVing your deals and actually record the whole process, like addresses, going through the property, making repair costs, looking at ARV comps. Let me know if that's cool or not. But never trust anybody. It's crazy. I even had people try to get me on fake appointments because they're the wholesalers, but I verify trust. Don't trust anybody. Verify first in real estate. I'm telling everybody, verify first. Now, next here, this is a really important lesson too. You are overthinking things. Just lowball. And this is a sentence I've told so many people time and time again, but you are 100% overthinking things. Just lowball. Oh, how much should I offer? Okay, but I don't care. Just lowball the seller. Think of an offer that scares you. Go 15, 20% below that and just offer it. You will be shocked at how many sellers will say yes to that. I had a guy on the vlog yesterday I was recording. He sent me a FSBO, and I popped up the lead, and I just rolled my eyes. I'm like, FSBO. And it was a FSBO for like 375 grand. And I was like, ugh. And then on the vlog, I pop up the contract. This man has it locked up for like 240. I'm like, okay, we got a deal. And I'm talking to my JV partner in Phoenix, and he's like, this is crazy. And it seems like a really good deal. Maybe make 30 on it. Hopefully, we're talking to our buyers right now. But like that I was like, you know what? That was amazing. 130K low ball. He got 130K off the listing price. That's a FSBO I can sell. Okay. So let's talk about making good on FSBOs. Okay. And so I think it was really cool. But even marketing, you're overthinking. What market should I get? Just choose a market. Use our rules we have at Wholesaling.com, but most of you guys are just overthinking it. Don't do it. Next here, this is a really important one. This is actually a 2-pronged one. So number 9 and 10 are kind of the same, but it's together. The wholesaler who cares about the seller more wins. So if this is a battle of one wholesaler and wholesaler number 1 and 2 who have the same price, who are both at the appointment, or they go to appointment at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, who's the seller going to choose? The wholesaler who cared about the seller more will win. The person that went to the person that followed up more, the person that built more of a connection, the person that made the best assurance that they'll buy it for cash in the most legit way possible, that person will win. That is how a seller usually chooses, whoever gets the most rapport. Now, this is different than the other part. And this is the same rule, but slightly different. The wholesaler usually who got to the seller first wins. And so I personally, with my team, we build the most rapport with our sellers. There's usually not one person in the market that can beat us one-on-one on appointments. There's not one person that can beat us one-on-one when we actually talk to the seller, because the rapport wins. We're really good at it. But how do other wholesalers do really well? There's guys making $500,000 plus in my market that they are way worse than me. I'm not saying this in a mean way. They're not as good as our team on rapport, but how do they win? Because they got to the seller first before me. Because you ain't gonna beat me. But if you're faster than me, usually you can win, right? And so let's look at war or battling in general. How if you are going against a force that is bigger and stronger and definitely someone that you can't beat? Like if you have 100 soldiers and the other person has 1,000 soldiers, how are you going to win, right? Think of 300, right? You got 300 versus 100,000. Now, obviously they didn't win, but like how do they pretty much win the days of it? How do they not get destroyed? Well, they have the hot gates, right? And they have the passive perceptively or whatever in Greece, Sparta they had there, but like they just had better strategy, right? And you can beat a better force with better strategy. And in wholesaling real estate, this translates to speed. So when I started out, I wasn't really good on rapport or talking to sellers. Everyone was better than me, but I got to the seller faster. I got in front of the seller and got the appointment before the other person could even have a conversation with the seller because of that speed I won. So if you can really look at this, if you can be faster than every other wholesaler, and if you can actually build a ton of rapport there, there's no one that can beat you in wholesaling real estate. And that is the truth, guys and gals. So that's my little book explanation on my top 10 recession-proof wholesaling hacks. I can tell everybody watching this, real estate wholesaling moves in cycles. You can make money in every single cycle. You just got to understand what to do in each cycle. So in the cycle we're in currently right now, if real estate's going down, we're going to up our marketing and we're going to get more niche lists. When real estate is going up, maybe what we should do is we should just do more marketing. The answer is always going to be more marketing, but like when real estate is getting a little easier, we're going to spend a lot less time with cash buyers and more time on sellers. Maybe now we're going to spend more time with cash buyers and less time with sellers, right? It's all a yin and a yang. When real estate usually goes up, you can spend a lot more money on saturated lists. When real estate's going down, maybe you don't have the money to do it anymore, but guess what? You can do the niche lists and things like that. Usually just how you spend the time shifts a little more, but really it's all changing, right? And the sad part about wholesaling real estate, and I'll tell everyone this, is usually when the market goes down, you make the same amount of money, but wholesalers leave because they don't want to do it, right? Because of the gurus. Unfortunately, the secret about how wholesaling real estate is the fastest, best, most efficient way to make $100,000 in a year with no money at all, the secret's been out. And so when real estate is going down, unfortunately, because the industry is so amazing and people figure out the flow of money in wholesaling doesn't change. And I want everyone to understand that when real estate goes down, everyone thinks the amount of wholesalers usually make less money. No, the good wholesalers actually make more money, and then the worst wholesalers make less. It's a net gain, right? Like it's a net to zero sum game. If real estate is what I think a $2.5 billion industry, wholesalers during crashes will still make $2.5 billion. Wholesalers in a good market make $2.5 billion. It's just do the top wholesalers, the 1% of wholesalers, they make most of the money during a crash because they know what to do. They're smart. Same thing with stocks and stuff. And so I'm part of the 1%, the Illuminati of wholesaling. They're in the 1%, and I'm making more money than ever right now. Now, if you're not knowing what you're doing, you're a beginner, you're probably gonna make less money. And so you should do what the 1% is doing. And that's what I'm the only person in the 1% that'll just show you what to do and what to have. Oh, but my course, that ain't a thing. So I want people to understand that you will make the amount of money in that wholesalers make actually stays the same. It's who's making the money changes. And so that's why I get it. I've been telling everyone, I think for 4 years I've said when real estate crashes, I'll make more money. And I don't want that to happen, but it will. Guess what happened? I'm doing hopefully 1,000 wholesaling real estate deals this year. So it's like, just because I know how to do it the right way. And so I want everybody to understand that. So that is it. That's my little